Hi YouTube yogis, it's Christine here. I haven't made content all week. Our life has been a little hectic. This little guy kind of took a spill and he's just been hurting, so my life has completely revolved around that, which is fine. And it also, reminded me that our path of life can change very quickly and unexpectedly, and that the practice of yoga reminds us to practice. Two things come to mind when I think about kind of how my week has been and how chaotic it has been, and the many moving pieces. There are two yogic terms that come to mind that are part of this 8-limb path. And the first one is aparigraha, which is non-attachment. And the next one is Ishvada Pranidhana, which just means surrender. And since I am teaching on a public platform, I say you can surrender, and if there is something spiritually that resonates with you in the terms of surrender, you can surrender it to what you believe in spiritually. That is what this path is intended for. And obviously Teddy had a little opinion about that. So I'm going to take a moment here, and we're just going to practice some grounding and meditation techniques centered around the ass. I am going to let him knock the camera over. I'm going to keep a little eye on him while we get started on our breath work. So when we meditate, it's so important to meet ourselves where we are. Typically, we like to be sitting, and we like to be sitting up nice and tall. And the reason why the philosophy encourages this is because our energy center runs right through us. I might not be able to do this meditation right now because I like to keep an eye. But know that I'm still here. As I was saying, when we meditate, we typically like to sit up nice and tall, and we like to have this energy line center. And that being said, obviously life happens. So if you want to simply listen to this meditation, or even if you're lying down, or if maybe you're restless and you want to take this on a gentle walking meditation. So if you're sitting or lying down, feel free to let the eyes close. If your life has so many moving pieces, you may find that it's challenging to close the eyes. And the reason why this is that a lot of times when life is changing that quickly, kind of the limbic system takes over, and it's really challenging because it's the survival part of our brain. And the last thing we want to do when we're in this survival mode is close our eyes. So if you can close the eyes, close the eyes. And if you can't, I want you to know that that's okay too. And take a moment here to maybe find a part of the body that is unaffected. So for me, a lot of times it's my feet. I find my feet to be grounding. Maybe it's a knee, maybe it's a pinky finger. But take a moment here to check in with the part of the body that feels comfort and feels strong. And just observe it, bring it to the mind's eye. And as you start to check in, go ahead and notice everything else that's going on with the body and with the breath. And see if you can find focus and your intention for being here. So we want to set our drishti. And first of all, I realize I say a lot of the Sanskrit terms incorrectly. The drishti it's this inner focus. And the inner focus, maybe it's the breath. A lot of times when there's a lot of moving pieces, it's challenging to focus on the breath. So what I like to do is I like to focus on my intention. And the intention of this meditation is to aparigraha, release attachment with loving kindness, right? And to ishvada pranidana, let the moving pieces go, spiritually and with love. And just bring this grounding here. In the recording, maybe you hear the birds. Maybe you hear the lull of motorcycles going by in the background, which is just a sign of warmth and summer. And when we practice aparigraha, this non-attachment, the very next thing that comes to mind is acceptance. And acceptance doesn't mean things are okay. It means that we approach life's changes with absolute love for ourselves and absolute love for the things that are changing in our lives. We accept and release attachment to people, to places, to ideas, things that we so much as humans want to be fixed and we want to hold on to. And if you're not ready to let go, and you're not ready to accept, know that accepting this non-acceptance is also releasing attachment. And take a moment here. If your body is ready, to just check in with the breath. Where even is it happening? And sometimes when you're going through a transitional period, checking in with the breath can be abrupt. And if that's the case, the invitation here is to invite whatever you feel with loving kindness and with acceptance. The breath in times of stress tends to get shallow, and we tend to breathe with accessory muscles. And the accessory muscles are in our neck. And what happens when we have this more shallow breath is the shoulders start to roll up by the ears. So maybe you can just check in with the shoulders here and let the shoulders draw away very intentionally from the ears, whether you're laying down or on a gentle meditative walk. And as the shoulders melt away from the ears, maybe you can find a little bit of muscle activation, purposely pressing them down. And as I'm meditating and things are calming down, I just wanted to share that we're never alone in our journeys, even when it feels like it. We are all interconnected. this actually really helped my dog settle down. Yeah, he loves it when I meditate. So secretly, I kind of just came out here with the purpose of helping him meditate. um, yeah, so if you're watching this, um, yeah, I'm really glad to share this moment with you. It's very vulnerable and it's very raw. You could tell when I say a lot. The thing with me is when I say a lot, it means just coming from this place of, it's in my heart. It's also in my solar plexus, in my power center. And what happens during these life transitions, at least in my world, is the heart is open and ready. And this power center, this solar plexus, this is our energy line. The solar plexus wants to dictate everything. And if this is something that you've struggled with, similarly, I want to control everything, right? Like I want my dog to be comfortable and happy. I can't control that. And my heart wants him to just feel loved and supported. So, connecting to the breath. Oh, every yoga teacher says that, and it sounds very grounding. And for me, at the moment, it is not. Neither is connecting to the body. Just connecting to the wisdom of my heart is, and sharing this moment. So if you have a pet at home and you've been through something similar, or if you're going through, I'm also simultaneously going through a life transition. This is turning into a vlog. I really felt called to share this kind of personal part of the journey, especially since he's been in some of my videos. I actually, my heart feels very full sharing this. So thank you for watching. I actually sat down to make a meditation, and I just, maybe I'll make one later in the week, or maybe I will make a second recording.